Listen, wait, just very quickly. I'm not going to say too much then, but well done to you. I want you lads to show your appreciation to the staff who've backed you all season.
I'm still a little bit shell-shocked, if I'm honest. It's been a privilege for me to work alongside so many people who have contributed in such a positive way to this club moving forward. And my management style is well, it's my management style. I don't know, you'd have to ask other people what it is and how they see it.
He's got a good bond with all the players, and he'll always come and have a chat with you. If you need to talk to him, his office is always open, and he's so down to earth with it all.
The persona that you see outwards towards the media is very, very different to what we see. You know, he's a very bright and bubbly character, and you know, creates a very, very good positive atmosphere around the club.
You lot don't really see the whole side of him. You know, he's good on a day-to-day basis. He never really gets too carried away with the ups or downs, which I think is vital for any manager. You know, you do want, as a player, you kind of need a level playing field. All the players respect him, and now his record's starting to speak for itself as well.
I think one of the important things, and I've worked for some and with some really good managers, and they all have different styles, but ultimately you've got to be yourself. I don't like to talk about it, and it was at Hillsborough, 3 miles from my house, so we get beat in the replay 3 miles from my house. That's great, isn't it?
Obviously it was 20 years ago since I scored that goal against Derby that took us into the Premiership for the very first time, and the memories I've got are unbelievable.
They were the best days of my career, without a shadow of a doubt, and the large majority of all the players were lucky enough to experience it. And to a club like Leicester City, that was the best period in the last 40, 50 years or so. And, you know, times to remember. The supporters still talk about it now.
I'm a Liverpool fan. My dream as a boy was to score at the Kop. OK, I wanted to be in a Liverpool kit, but the next best thing was to score against them. I achieved that with scoring the winning goal in the 87th minute. It's special when you're at a club and everything clicks together for 3 or 4 years, and that happened with us at Leicester.
Walsh is there again and heads it back. Heskey! Claridge! It's in, is it? It is! Unbelievable! But here he is, and he's done it! Claridge has scored for Leicester!
It was a fantastic era for me. You know, I played at Wembley 7 times, I think it was, in 10 years. It's when you look back, you think, how did we do that?
Leicester City in their 5th League Cup final alone, and of course it's Leicester's 3rd time here in the last 4 seasons.
Probably the highlight of my career. Obviously great to play for England, but I think to win a trophy at Wembley was a wonderful time for me, especially as we'd lost to Spurs the year before. So to go and beat Tranmere 2-1, Matt Elliott got both the goals, and you know, happy memories, and ended up it was my one and only trophy.
Elliott's header! Elliott, he's scored again! Matty Elliott regains the lead for Leicester City!
I couldn't even in my wildest dreams think about scoring 2, especially as a defender in a cup final at Wembley, and managed to do that. You know, we won the final, I got man of the match, I was captain, I think I was the first captain to lift a trophy at Wembley for Leicester. You know, amazing day.
It was a really good team. I think at times we got a little bit criticised that, you know, we obviously was a bit physical, and sometimes we got the ball forward as quick as possible, but I think that sort of takes away from the players. We had some really good players, and we could play a bit as well, don't worry about that.
They say in life, not necessarily true, but they say in life you should never go back. Why did you come back to Leicester?
Because I wanted to. I wanted to.
Unfinished business.
Right. And again,
unfinished business, again, like the club, or
again, that's other people's words. I wouldn't necessarily use that as a phrase. No? You know, unfinished business. But yeah.
What phrase would you use?
Yeah, unfinished business. No, I wanted to come back because it felt right. I like telling the story, and when people say, "Well, tell us that story again," and it was not a nice experience because I could see there was a hut, mountain, I don't know, about 200 yards away, and there was a little ravine in between us, and I saw these dogs set off, and I thought. I got about 10-20 seconds to get prepared, and I got my walking poles as it happened, which was good. So a bit like D'Artagnan, and it was and there was 5 of them. And what they do is one goes for you, the others come round you, and they basically try and attract your attention until one of them can bring you down, and then what they essentially do is rip the throat out of whatever they're. So I knew I was in trouble. I'd seen this patch of brambles and nettles, whatever they were, behind me, and I just dived into it because I thought, well, they ain't going to come in after me. So off they went, and about 300-400 yards further up the hill, they set off again, and so I backed myself against a tree. I thought, I don't want to get attacked from behind, and I was absolutely goosed by this point. I managed to get rid of them.
Chairman must seem like pussycats after that.
Look, I mean, life's about perspective, isn't it?
No second chances after this one. 2 will become 1 here this afternoon. It is quite simply Wembley.
And Oliver has awarded the penalty. It's a penalty now for Leicester City, and if they score this, they will be in the Championship playoff final.
Knockout takes, Almunia saves, knockout follows in, Almunia saves again.
Oh, it's a brilliant save from Almunia, a double save.
Absolutely astonishing. Now here come Watford.
And now Watford are on the counter-attack. They're bursting forward, they've got a chance.
Forestieri.
They've crossed it into the box.
Here's Hogg. Deeney!
Oh, they've scored! I do not believe what I've just seen!
Do not scratch your eyes! You are really seeing the most extraordinary finish here!
Troy Deeney has scored a penalty! He scored! Oh, Troy Deeney has scored from a Leicester penalty that was saved by Almunia, and Watford are going to go into the Championship final!
I'm not going to try and flower it up. There were a number of question marks during last summer as to who was going to stay here and how we were going to take the club forward. But in terms of the players, ultimately they've had another year. They've dealt with what was a horrible experience.
Never even seen the game back. I think it was more of just we needed to get that out of our system. But you could tell from the first day everyone was back. There was a determination. yeah, we could feel from the start that we could be onto something.
We all walked away from Vicarage Road wondering how they would recover from that. I mean, that was the most extraordinary few minutes in football I've ever seen, and it could have gone one of two ways. You know, they could have buried them the next season and not been able to bounce back from it, or it could have been used to fire them up, and that's what they did. They used it as a motivation to. I met several players who said to me that they never wanted to experience that ever again, and they used it to motivate them towards the Premier League.
When you're involved in football management, you ultimately are going to be judged by results, and there's no doubting that in my time here I flirted with being under serious pressure and needed, I suppose, not a vote of confidence, but I've needed them to actually believe that what I'm trying to do here is the right way to do it, and that they believe that given time I could achieve what we set out to do, which we've done.